All right, here we are with the last podcast episode of the season. Here, going to reflect a little bit and also get amped up here for our season ahead. So I'm going to get started because we're going to dual record this and put this up on YouTube, I think. So here we go. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a go. We're giving it a test over here. It looks pretty good. All right, we got the Roadcaster. All right, here we go. Welcome to the show, Wave On. This is the last one for the year, and we think it might be the last one. I could squeeze in one more because I feel like this is episode 79, and I could try to make it to 80 before the end of the year. But thank you again for tuning in. I'm Misty, the host here with Luna Moon Stand Up Paddleboarding, and doing a little reflection for the end of the season and also what's to come because we're already getting amped up. I feel like I don't stop working on Luna Moon. I know I have the lip balm and natural product line with lotion bars and that kind of thing, which let's start there actually. So the season, this holiday season, is a great time to do markets for a small business, and so we did quite a few of those. Right, just right before Thanksgiving, actually, starting in Frankenbooth, and then went to Clawson, Rochester, or I'm sorry, Clarkston. We went to Clarkston and Rochester, and then back to Waterford at LA Cafe, which is where the Peace Fest was, and that was our first time at Peace Fest this past spring, and we look forward to returning again there and doing the paddleboarding and of course the products and getting amped for the season, the start of the season here in Michigan. But let's go back to Florida, which was before Thanksgiving, and I was lucky enough to spend my birthday there and had a wonderful travel buddy with me without having Luna now. Have more of a human contact, and actually we had some great conversation and spreading the word of Luna Moon, also doing the retreat research, a little dive deep into where we wanted to go. So I was there back in June, which was early spring, right after Peace Fest, and I went to Weeki Wachee, Florida, north of Tampa, about 40 to 45 minutes. And I got to meet somebody that I had kind of met through TikTok. So this might sound like a story that's going all over the place, but I tell you, I definitely will be put together here, just fine and dandy. It'll come together. So I go there in June. I meet somebody that owns a well, it's a resort sort of, but it's a different type of resort, which is on the water, one of the canals, and it's just very unique vibe. It's very small, but all of those things give it that unique vibe. So that's why I'm calling it a little different than a resort, but it kind of reminds you of a resort in a way because so much is included with your stay there. And that's where we're going to be having our first retreat out of the state of Michigan. And it's a destination paddle, and obviously, and but learning about some of the destination paddles, the retreats, it's the time that you're giving yourself to unwind, to connect with other people, to learn something about nature, maybe even perfect a little more of your paddleboarding stroke and stance, which you might not get to do all the time, and you might not get to go paddleboarding consistently throughout the summer, especially in Michigan when we have such a short season. But I met this person on TikTok, and we had talked several times through phone and through video calls, that kind of thing. And I got a good vibe and a good starting relationship, given the amount of distance that we have between each other. And her place needed to get settled after the hurricanes from over a year ago. And I wanted to allow for that. I didn't want to intrude or be in the way, or be kind of a nuisance from Michigan, just calling her all the time to see if we can come down for a retreat. The timing worked out perfectly, actually, for me to come down in June, and I got to finally see the place in person and meet her. She showed me around, obviously, on the water, paddling. We saw manatees, of course, lots of fish, lots of nature. And I got to stay there for an extended amount of time before I came back to Michigan and got the paddleboard season officially underway. So we go back in November, and I'm all summer I've chalked it up. I wanted to know if people would actually come down to Florida for a manatee retreat. Are people interested in this? Are people interested in seeing manatees? Just the whole thing. And I talked about it all summer, and I got a list of people who are very interested. So that gave me some motivation. That gave me a little bit of confidence to probably pull the trigger and pick some dates to actually go down in the spring. So manatee season starts in November, and it starts when the season or when the water will start to get a little cool. So to mark their season, it usually goes until about April, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't see manatees. But especially a Wiki Watchy, because I saw them in June. So I'm still learning about the breed and obviously other nature that's in the area. But that's going to be a really fun part for me. For Luna Moon goes to Florida, I have some other things lined up as far as going down there and not just doing a retreat, but learning about the wildlife and the water. And so I'm excited about that as well. It's more than just a retreat. It's more than just bringing people down from Michigan or from the Great White North, whichever you want to call it, because we do have people from Wisconsin and actually North Dakota coming. Anybody's invited, really. We have day passes as well. So if you want to get on the water with us, spend the day with us, possibly be part of a yoga class. I think there's some other things that we're going to be offering as well. So the retreat is, the dates were the biggest part. So the way I work is a really hands-on. I want to know about who is coming, what do they want to see, what do they want to do. We have such a short amount of time together. I say this even about our Big Bay retreat in the UP. The weekend goes fast. It seems so short, but yet we have so much available time together, and it really depends on what you want to embrace. So the day passes definitely will get you a full experience of being on the water, being with us, being at the resort. You're just not staying the night. I have a few spots left for the full weekend. But like I said, some people jumped on it right away before I even went down to Florida. We made a soft announcement. I got to Florida, then we decided to add on to another night, add in a little more stuff to make the weekend very full and excitable, stuff for people to look forward to, stuff for people to choose from. There are a lot of local restaurants, so there is that is for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, basically. But our suites even have a little bit of like a mini kitchenette with a mini fridge. So there's some amenities there. There's amenities outside as well, just sitting, lounging, having coffee in the morning, absorbing the sun before we get ready for a paddle. Maybe a light yoga stretch. Maybe we do even some paddle technique, just cleaning up our paddle, that kind of thing. Plenty of options, plenty of options. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to announce that Luna Moon is going to be venturing into Florida, and we'll see where it goes from there, especially for the years to come. I wouldn't be surprised if you heard about something already bubbling for 2027. So again, something else to look forward to. And yes, I still have to plan the other retreats throughout the summer here in Michigan. I believe, here's a little teaser, we could be going to the west side of the state, so we hit up Lake Michigan. Probably keeping Port Austin as our Turnip Rock paddle for Lake Huron side of the state, and then obviously north Lake Superior. Big Bay is still on the calendar, and we're adding on one more day. So one more day for the Big Bay retreat in the UP. Be adding on Thursday night. So those are going to be announced pretty soon as well. So I would even keep an eye out for something coming through before the first of the year on an early bird rate. There is an early bird rate as well for paddle with the manatees in March. Those dates are March 6th through the 9th, 2026. They're on the calendar. I'll provide the links in the show notes, of course. But that early bird lasts until the 5th of January because we'll be getting super close to actually going because we're less than 76 days out. We're less than that right now. So again, lots of planning going on, and that is definitely one thing I have grown into as far as being a business owner and a small one at that and seasonal. You have to really plan. A lot for someone like me because it's been a learning curve and I've gotten a lot better at it, obviously. So I'll share a couple stories from our recent November trip from Weeki Wachee and the manatees. We did see manatees and baby ones too with their mom hanging out. It's so fun to see all of that. And another thing you saw, my comparison between even like June and November. Now, if you don't go to Florida often, or if you pick one season and go, that's the only time you go, they still have seasons. They're just a little different than Michigan. They're not as leafy, but there are leaves. We did see a deer, so that was getting to my point. Our last day on Weeki Wachee, and we were coming down the river, coming up to the resort, and the next like 3 miles left, I think, is what we had. And just taking in everything. I mean, at this point now, I'm taking pictures with my GoPro, with my camera. I just want to take it all in, and I don't know if I'll miss something. And all of a sudden, this deer came peeking out. He looked right at me. I'm on my paddleboard standing. He looks right at me. I keep moving with the current, and then he decides he's going to cross between me and these kayakers that were behind me, and then my paddleboard friends that were still just behind me. We were watching all of this. I'm just videoing this. And he gets in this turquoise water and swims across. And all of us are just in awe. We froze to watch this happen. He, like I said, looks right at me. Can't even believe it. Just this big buck with antlers just doing his thing. Hey, can I just move through here and swim across to the other side? And we were just observing the whole thing. So I come home. Of course, I have this video. Of course, I've seen it. So I'm just like, in awe about it myself, but not as in awe as some of these people on social media. So I don't post the video right away. I post a few manatee videos, some pictures, and I post the deer crossing on TikTok. This is the only video, I swear, on my account after how many years, even on and off how many years, because just wasn't too sure about this app, especially in the very beginning days. Me being a paddleboarder, it seemed like people were just dancing and doing trends and tricks. I don't know. Well, I got all kinds of comments and likes, followers. People favorited the video. People reposted the video. And the comments were all over the place. Of course, the majority rule out of it, people were excited. They loved it. They couldn't believe it. They're like, wow, look at this beauty. Look at this nature. And then, of course, the next kind of comments that I had gotten was, this is what's wrong with Florida. It's so overbuilt. The wildlife have nowhere to go, and that kind of thing. There was a few, not many. There was a few. I can't even remember the words that was used in one of the messages. It was sort of something like along the lines of can't you people see? They must have read all the rest of the comments about it being just taking in the beauty of the nature of it and the water, all of it. And this person was definitely against like development, you know, people taking over Florida land and developing. And I get that. I so get that. But it was like this person was definitely, can't you people see what's happening? Like, what is going on? And it's just like, yeah, obviously, I think people can see that. But we're also just, you know, observing nature at its finest. And, you know, yeah, we're posting it for other people to see, some other kind of positive inspiration out there in the world. It doesn't have to all be about negative and politics. So I really liked that, and I I also felt like then a lot of people from Florida are following me now, and I also felt like, wow, I don't have videos like this every time that I post, so now what? I mean, that's like once on that's one there were some paddleboarders that even commented on it and said, wow, I've never seen this when I'm out on the river. I've never came across, I want to see this. And wow, but you got to do this. And I'm like, wow, was in the right place at the right time, you know. But anyway, I don't know as if we would see something like that in the spring because that was fall, and like I said, Florida still has a little bit of fall. There's still some color change that happens. It's just not as dominant as you are in Michigan or in the north, trying to rake leaves and make piles of leaves for the leaf collector to come get or not. There's a thing about that too. Like, yeah. So anyway, gift cards. If you haven't gotten something yet for a special person, a friend, or if you listen to the podcast and you would love to get a gift card that would go toward a paddleboard purchase, a retreat, a class, an event, anything Luna Moon related, even retail as far as lip balms and some of our shirts go. I don't know if print on demand will process that. That's the only hiccup, but I could be wrong about that as well. So definitely, though, great for paddleboarding, for boards, gear, if you want to upgrade your paddle. Think of that. Think of some things that maybe you would want to get for the season upcoming. And honestly, if you get one, they don't expire, so you don't have to even use them right away. They were in the last newsletter as a little shout out. You can get a gift card, but they're always available on the website, lunamoonsupyoga.com. All right, now that I have plugged that, as far as social media goes, I will say that I have learned a lot from TikTok. I just talked about how I met the lady that owns Manatee Retreat in Weeki Wachee, Florida. That's where we'll be lodging for our March retreat, and how much I've learned from other people and what they posted. So I would never, say something negative about somebody posting wildlife or animals, as long as they're not abusing them or touching or feeding them the wrong things. I mean, depending on what we're talking about, but that's just to be more on the positive side of things, that there are other things out there other than sitting on our phones or video games all day long. And you can learn from them. You can learn from other people, especially if you're into being outdoors and you want to paddleboard and you want to meet other people to paddleboard. I mean, it's such a great tool, and I think that that's the way that I've always seen it. And I'm just grateful for some of the connections that I've been able to do in land, and especially to continue to keep growing. So we are on TikTok. I do have 2 accounts actually, and Instagram, YouTube, where I'm going to be posting this video. So if you want to see my cool little setup here, which is kind of just a makeshift one, and check it out, our channel, because I'm posting some movement for the off season. whether it be yoga, weights. I'm also learning this mace tool, which I think is going to be great for paddleboarding arms and shoulders and that kind of thing. So if you're new to that and you want to check it out before maybe even getting a mace, but I also teach online and in person. So reach out if you'd love to even work with me one-on-one. If you're recovering from an injury, maybe you're getting back to your paddleboard game and you want to work virtually, we can do that before it gets warm or before I even make it to Florida. So that's one of the sections I'm actually building out on my website. So that's coming soon. And we just did a reface and a nice little redesign on the home page of the website, which I'm pretty excited about. And it just continues to keep growing from there. That's why I feel like I always just keep working on Luna Moon, even if I'm not paddleboarding or having paddleboard classes. Which reminds me, pool classes, paddleboards in the pool start January 11th. And then I have another one February 8th before going to Florida. So that's also on the website. And again, another great place to get started, to get back acclimated on a paddleboard in a very controlled environment, obviously. So look for those dates and that sign up, that link. You want to reserve because it does usually fill. Wow, I have to say that I do get little trinkets and cards, quite a bit actually. Sometimes it could be something special, someone from a retreat that takes the time to send me a thank you, and I save all of those, by the way. I save all of those, and I actually have a little scrapbook that I started with printing even photos of just seasons, special moments. I think that as a small business and even maybe something niche like this, it's important to highlight those and keep it in the forefront for everyone to see, because I want everyone to know that, with Luna Moon and being part of a community, that it is special and you make it something special. So that's me personally. I like to highlight those things and trinkets and little things. So I just received one the other day, which I was very surprised. It was dropped off on my porch, and it was this little yogi girl on a paddleboard, like a kind of like a makeshift paddleboard, with my sticker on it, Luna Moon sticker, and on the bottom was a note. So it was from some of the girls from the kids' SUP camp that we had back in August, and they made this little statue together with a paddleboard, a little boogie board from their American Doll collection. So they took the board and I guess found a yoga girl to put on it, and she has a paddle and she's got my sticker and then the note down below. I was just couldn't believe. I was in awe. I was like, stop right now. This is the cutest, most heartfelt, and wow, what another little gentle reminder about what I set out to start creating about, it officially is about 8 to 9 years ago. And it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it has. In the first few years, of course, like I was standing around wondering, where is everybody? So again, this is sort of a reflection piece, but also a lot of gratitude comes behind it, because I would have never ever thought or known that this would have grown this far, or people would have been touched by this, and just all the things. So I definitely love to keep it going, as far as the trinkets and the little cards, the notes, the special anniversary paddle dinners that we started doing a couple years ago even. So I am going to show this, I think, this little statue. You know what? I didn't set it up like right by me, but because I'm putting this up on YouTube, I am going to show it. So I may have to pause and do that in a few moments. But wow, yeah, what a great memory. I mean, I have the paddle log, which I put about destination paddles, who came, a couple little printed out snapshots, maybe a map, things that made it special, made the retreat special, made my own personal paddle special. It's a lot of that, and it's just putting yourself out there. And I I don't know. I guess I'm okay doing it, but I like to bring you along with me, and that's been the biggest thing to learn and to understand as far as building a community goes. And I'm really excited about that. We've got some new merch even on the website, some sweatshirts and tank tops and beanie hats. So if you want to check those out too, we have the retreat page, which is going to keep building. I'm going to keep adding on to that. And I'd love if you can follow along through YouTube and my other social media accounts. I totally welcome it. And if you ever have any requests or ideas, or like I said, if you want to work virtually and get paddle fit, we can do that as well. But thanks for tuning in. Maybe I'll squeeze one more episode out before the end of the season, just maybe something fun. And who knows what we can gather out of that. But check out the YouTube. I'm going to post some pictures too of this little yogi statue that for me right there summed up a lot for girls that the camp was in August. So to me, like, when they have forgotten about it, we didn't just do this. But I guess August isn't that long ago. But anyway, and it's heartfelt, and I'm going to create a special spot for it in my upstairs studio. So let's do that. I'm going to provide some links. Thanks again for tuning in and supporting Luna Moon. All of it, like I said, it's hard for me not to notice it or hear about it. And let's have a great 2026 season and our retreats on all of it. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, we're recording the podcast Wave On here, and this is the highlight of the show from the girls' kids camp, the American Doll board, and the Yogi Girl with the note on the bottom from the friends having all the fun. Thank you so much. But really, thank you for just being a part of it and, supporting and just having that willingness to do it. So I'm very proud. I'm very excited, and let's have a great 2026 season.